Hello everyone, I'm Rose Musen, and today we're going to be talking about finding your art style and how I found mine. By the way, this hairdo may look like very fancy, but it's actually just my very lazy yoga bun which has fallen down and now it looks like a royalty hairdo, so I decided to go with the flow. First of all, I would like to point out that I believe as an artist you can go through many different art styles. You will learn new skills through time and therefore your art style will most likely also evolve, and that's okay. You do not have to be bound to one style to be a good artist. But I do have some tips about how to maintain a consistent art style, which is very important if you want people to look at the art and know it is yours before they have even seen your name. To demonstrate the development of an art style, I would like to include my own drawing journey. So I've always been happy to draw, and the main reason for that is because I was given a lot of attention and a lot of compliments as a child for my drawings. And as a child, you tend to do more of what you are complimented about. But it was actually only when I was a bit older I started to begin to think about how I could improve my drawings. At first, my passion for drawing came from copying everything I saw, so I did that a lot. Later on, I was often told how my dad liked to draw bunny characters and created his own little universe with these, so I also wanted to try that out, but I kept comparing myself to my dad and felt bad and therefore lost interest. Then I tried to copy my mom, which drew a lot of pretty girls and princesses as a child, but once again I compared myself, so I quickly felt bad and lost interest again. Then I tried to create my own creatures, but that was also pretty difficult, so then I moved on to creating funny stories, and I had so much fun making them, so I actually created many different short stories. Then I discovered manga, and I copied a few drawings, but I also felt more and more brave enough to try out drawing from only my imagination. But the manga style was just so different and it really fascinated me, so I started doing a lot of copies of other manga drawings, and I eventually tried to draw something similar. Then I discovered the chibi style, and I did a bunch because they were so simple and I felt I could be more loose and creative with them. Online drawings was slowly becoming a thing, and the touch of the iPhone was invented, and I cannot actually remember if I drew on the phone or on an iPad. Anyway, I found this app called DrawQuest where I decided to do this style, and this style was almost directly copied from another artist which I admired from another website, but only the girl, the stick figure man, was my own interest. I just loved the simplicity of it, and it gave me the freedom to create stories within only a few hours. But I was still very fascinated by the manga style, and I slowly started to practicing the manga autonomy. And I eventually decided to make a new character drawn with the manga art style. I was still pretty happy even though it took me a bit longer to finish. Then, as some of you might know, the app was hacked and shut down, so I kind of felt lost for some time. Later on, I started to binge watch Mark Curly's videos, and I started doing some more traditional art again. I seriously watched his video, fall asleep because there was so much new information, woke up, continued watching the videos, and that was the cycles of me learning anatomy and basic drawing skills. So here overall I started practicing basic skills and anatomy. Ooh, remember this one? If not, I made a redraw of this drawing, and if you should be interested, I will link the video in the description. But furthermore, I slowly started to understand different styles, and I started to see if I could draw it as well, but with my own touch. Then I got my hands on some Copic markers, and I slowly got more interested in understanding coloring and shading. And I also slowly found out that even styles can have variations, and I once again found interest in copying other drawings to get a better understanding of the different styles that I admired. And then I started to practice trying to mix the style with things I saw in real life. As I was getting pretty good at traditional art, I slowly fell in love with digital art again. And I did try to create digital art with only my mouse. It was not great. Here is one of the art I tried to do with my mouse. It's not that bad, but it's not that good either. Not compared to what I was able to with a pencil, at least. So I decided to stick with traditional art until I got my drawing tablet and I found the app PageWorld. While I was posting on PageWorld, I made up this amazing story called Angel Magic, where I had designed 5 characters. I spent so much time drawing these characters and kinda tried to copy another artist that I admired, but after drawing these characters a lot, I lost interest in some of their designs and personalities, so I redesigned some of them, but the goal was so hard for me to draw in the comic I tried to make, so I kinda trashed the characters, practiced some more anatomy, and I made 2 new characters. Yay! But as you can see, my art style did not look consistent and that bothered me a lot. And then one day, I drew this drawing based on an outfit I had and thought, hey, this should be my character. But I still could not make it look consistent, so I came up with a new character again. And then I got a lovely boyfriend and I decided to make him as a character as well. But then I redesigned his hair because I thought it was too basic and plain. And then I thought the dress was too plain and basic and I redesigned that. And then I changed the design again. And after several changes, they now look like this. So when did my art style begin, you may ask? As you can see, I actually went through a lot of different styles. But they first became my style when I decided to do many with the same baselines. Some art styles do require that you know anatomy of the human. But in the end, the most important thing to find your style is to find your drawing anatomy. The art style I have today appeared the day I started questioning anatomy. How is the body built? How is the face built? How much can it vary? How is the eyes, the mouth, the nose made? Do they even have a nose? This actually is a pretty hard choice for me to make still. This is in the end just a choice you have to make. And I'm doing these because it's actually just not that simple in real life. To widen your anatomy animation, the best thing you can actually do is copying other styles. Copying is totally fine as long as you do not say it is yours. And of course you do not make money on copying others. That's just wrong. I believe by copying other styles, you can actually feel it in your hand. You have to think about how does this style feel in your hand. Trying to find a style by not having tried out other styles is almost like trying to come up with a color that you haven't seen before. Furthermore, you need to know your personality to find the art style that makes you happy. Of course you can learn an art style, but are you having fun? Are you a person who just loves working on the same piece and going there with the teeny tiny details? Or are you a person who just needs something simple, maybe because then you can do a bunch of pages and together they will form a story? What is your passion? Finding your passion doesn't mean you will stop looking at other, being inspired, having the need to maybe change or think they are doing better than you are. In these situations, I really need you to ask yourself, is this feeling you're having in that moment based on you are just admiring what they can do because you know they are doing something you're just not passionate about or you're not able to do because then you will lose passion for drawing? Or are they actually doing something that you want to do, that you know you would love to do? Because if that's the case, You just gotta practice and show yourself that you can do something similar. Find out what is it about it that you like, what kind of features is it that make this piece great, and then take it into your own art. Pick it. Is it the nose? Is it the mouth? Is it has a round chin or a sharp chin? What is it? And that's how you create your own style. When that is said, don't feel sorry for having the need to change something. I mean, most of us like to be creative and think out of the box, not stay inside the box. So it's just very natural for us to feel that we want to try something new. Of course, if you have found this style and that just makes sense for you, keep going. If you have a brand which is depending on this style, do that style for your brand. But this does not stop you from making a different art style besides your brand. Maybe it can just give you that free room you need to express yourself, other than your brand. In the end, all I want for you is to be happy. And I want you to have fun, because when you're having fun, you automatically want to do more, create more, and by creating more, you will see a pattern that shows what your passion is. You could even see in my early stages, I like to do small comics, and today I'm writing a comic. I mean, I just would not accept that my passion, my art style should be simple and it should tell a story. Because when I do those two things, I feel passionate. Even though I also feel very, very admired whenever I see someone doing something very detailed. It's just not something I'm going to do, and that's okay. But anyway, that was everything I had for you guys today. I hope you had a valuable lesson here, or you at least had some sort of fun. As always, if you like this video, a thumbs up. I was just about to put water all over the place. Let's put it away. As always, please give this a thumbs up if you liked it. It means a lot. If you're new, consider subscribing. And otherwise, I just hope to see you in my next video. Bye!